Okay, we welcome you to another episode of Learning Stories. This is an audio and video show where we interview a diverse set of learners from the 21st century. On each episode of this show, we interview a guest who has a story to share about how they acquired a set of skills and knowledge in a creative and innovative manner. In the process, we hope to uncover a new understanding of learning as conceptualized, imagined, and narrated by the guest in our show. Today's guest is someone I'm really excited to talk to. He's someone whose work I've always learned from, and I remember reading his book 10 years ago, and I always wish that maybe one day I'll get to speak to him. So this is really a really special moment for me. So Professor M.S. Rao is the founder of MSR Leadership Consultants. He's an international leadership guru with 42 years of experience. He's the author of 54 books, including the award-winning See the Light in You. He has published 300 plus research papers in leading journals. He has served in the Indian Air Force in the lowest rank of corporal for 12 years. More importantly, he recently survived and recovered from a brain hemorrhage and stroke in 2021. So there's a lot to unpack in his journey. At a personal level, it is his mission. He started a non-profit called Vision 2030 with a vision to build 1 million students as global leaders by 2030. And he has trained over 50,000 students so far. He's considered the father of soft leadership, and today he's here to share his story. So, Professor M.S. Rao, thank you so much for making time for this. The first question I wanted to ask you, Professor, is can you tell me a little bit about who was Professor M.S. Rao as a student at school? What were you interested in when you were in school, and what were you thinking when you were a student at school? So let's start off with that, Professor.
First of all, thanks for your invitation, and I appreciate your gracious introduction. And third, you want to know briefly about my profile?
About your childhood, sir.
My childhood, okay, fine. I was born on October 31st, 1963, and I was born in a tiny village in India, in Andhra Pradesh. And I, right from my childhood, I had a passion to wear uniform and serve my country. And at the age of 18, I discontinued my degree, then joined for the Indian Air Force in Chennai. So this is briefly how I entered this domain or a service, whatever it is you call it. And I was born into a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment. And lots of challenges I am having. But despite all the challenges, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix. People often think that I acquired my qualifications from reputed universities, but the fact is that I was a college dropout. At the age of 18, I discontinued my degree. Then I joined Indian Air Force. Then subsequently, I earned 6 qualifications, such as DME, BSc, MA, MBA, PGDCLL, and PGDBM. So all these qualifications I acquired through private education, that too while serving in the Indian Air Force. And the life of Indian Air Force or military, it's very challenging and very tough. So I had to work. Whatever the time was available, that I squeezed in, and I used to concentrate on my education. So right from my childhood, I have passion for learning and growing. That's one thing. So at the age of 18, I discontinued my education and entered into military. That was the thing. And coming back to my family, I was born into a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment. My life is full of struggles and sufferings. But still, I'm not giving up. When I joined Indian Air Force, I joined Indian Air Force in 1982, February 4th. Then I went to Tambram, that is Chennai. So military life was very challenging and very complicated. Uh, People want to serve in their countries, but for their everyone wants to serve their own country. But again, some of the people they just leave it and go. That's how people did at that time. And there was a guy, who committed suicide because of the pressure in 1982. So it was very tough. People think, on paper, it's very easy to become a military officer or whatever soldier. It's very tough, and but it's a very positive sign that people across the India are connected. First of all, we didn't gel well with other people because we were in teenage. We didn't know anything much. So, but this Indian Air Force taught us to become as great leader, and it taught us to be united. And gradually, we started respecting other cultures, other places, other all the things. Then started growing because we were we were streamlined as in one particular area. So that's a very much great point for us. We are very happy. So after I joined the Indian Air Force, every month I used to send my money to support my parents, and I give my money for purchasing land and everything. Unfortunately, my siblings have taken my money and they have backstabbed. So lots of challenges I encountered in my life. Apart from that, another challenge was that when I was serving in the Indian Air Force, my father invited me to join for business, and this was one more setback. So my father-in-law and brother-in-law, they uh, uh, backstabbed. That was one more challenge. So my life is full of challenges and sufferings. And add to that, I wanted to write my autobiography just before the COVID. But again, COVID-19 was a dampener, and things were totally disturbed during the COVID first lockdown and second lockdown. First lockdown, I was okay, everything was good, and I also wrote a book, Human Search for Meaning. This is the COVID-19 with the subtitle Human Search for Meaning. That book I have dedicated to former present Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. Then again, when my wife and I were impacted with the COVID, and we both were recovering. Unfortunately, I collapsed. So I didn't know how it happened. It's very challenging, and I'm grateful to God that He gave me an opportunity to lead, because there is something spark within me, or everything happens for a reason. So I'm very positive guy. So this is how I started my journey, and lots of challenges. Even today, I don't have two wheeler, I don't have four wheeler, I don't get any pension, I don't have any regular income. Lots of challenges I encountered, but it's time for me to share my story. Why? Because I want to write a memoir. In fact, I wanted to write my autobiography, 2019. But the challenge is that this COVID-19 was a dampener. Things went wrong for 4 years. I had lots of challenges. So then I thought I can't write my autobiography. So all that I can do is I can write a memoir, a short period. Then I took two aspects. One is uh, two aspects I focus. One is about my brain stroke, betrayal, all those things I just want to focus. And third aspect is that I also focus on education. And apart from this, I published 54 books. All books are from different areas. In the year 2010, I started writing books. And 2025, that means within the span of 15 years, I published 54 books. You can imagine the kind of efforts I have put. Out of that 15 years, 4 years, I could not write any book.
Wow.
So you can imagine the kind of challenges I have. And if I didn't have if I didn't have COVID, probably I would have gone very fast and I would have impacted the world globally. So anyhow, the good news is that I am alive and things are moving. And this is briefly about my journey.
Yeah, I'm so inspired by your story, Professor, because I know people that have got a stroke or hemorrhage. It's almost an end, it seems like things will not get better. So for you to be so positive, not only feel that you will get better, but also continue on your vision and dream, to build global leaders, I think it's really a noble vision. And I think your life's work just shows you that maybe in life you will not get the best cards. Yes, this is the book that Professor wrote. And what I will do is in the show notes, I will be linking all of Professor M.S. Rao's books. So even if you don't pick up what he is saying, please follow the links to his blog, to his Amazon site, so you can learn about all the books he has written. Because 1 hour is not enough time to understand all the ideas he has written about. In today's talk, we're really focusing on what he has learned from his journey. Because as someone that has not only started off from scratch, he joined the military, he served his country, he went into academia and research and was able to, create a published, a very prolific career as an academic and a researcher. And he was able to build life from scratch, and then life threw him another challenge, where he had to recover from a physical ailment. So there's a lot to pick out here. So, Professor, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. The first thing is, what did you learn from your experience in the army? What is some lessons you learned about your life in the army that you can share with us today?
Thank you for this wonderful question. And usually people don't touch upon this particular aspect. This is the key area of my profile. And there are so many lessons I learned from Indian Air Force. Basic thing is that we get united as one organization, because when we joined defense, we didn't know other communities, other cultures, because people have got different food varieties. Then cultures are different, but despite all the diversities, but still we became as one. So at the end of the day, what matters is that how we lead and how we impact the world. So there are lessons are many, but some of the things I would like to share with anybody is that you lead from the front, be passionate. What you want to do, that you do it. Don't listen to somebody's passion, because that doesn't work. You have to follow your passions. This is one thing. And another thing is, we often search for gems by leaving stones. So we should focus on gems. Okay, in the sense, everybody has talent, everybody has potential. We must have to unlock the potential and make them as leaders. So apart from these, lots of things I have learned are: be resilient, never give up, and respect all communities. This is not only for defense people, even the people, civilians in India or in the world. I will tell everyone that love your mother, but don't hate another person's mother. In the sense, you love all communities, cultures, because ultimately we are one. At the end of the day, we are one. And I focus on one thing: Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Many of the non-foreigners, they don't know the meaning of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is, the world is a small family. That means we are one, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, race. We are one. This is the thing I have learned on that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So like that, lots of things I have learned, and they have become a part of my mind. And I often mentioned about various leaders, and because I read thousands of books during my lifetime. And let me also share one more fact: is the three things I do regularly. One thing is I visit temples. This is one aspect you can learn from me. And the second thing is I visit libraries regularly. Even when I was in Seattle 2 months back, USA, I visited libraries. So third thing is that I hit gym regularly. That means I have been hitting gym for more than 40 years.
Wow.
So let me briefly summarize the three aspects. One is I visit temples. I emphasize spiritualism. Second thing is libraries. I visit libraries. And third thing is I hit the gym regularly. Daily I go to gym. This is what I do it.
Wow.
Right. These are all the three things I followed in my life. Apart from that, I believe in two more aspects. One is continuous learning and taking feedback. And we have to learn, because people think, when some of the once people go for employment, they think I don't have to learn anything. So everybody thinks like that. But the fact is that they have to learn many more things. They have to upgrade from time to time. This is the reality. So this is what I share with the students, because my vision is to build 1 million global citizens by 2030, and I it is a non-profit initiative, and I conducted training programs free of cost, because I want to influence and inspire the youth. And when you look at the Indian population, more than 50% of the population are millennials and centennials, right? So I thought of doing uh, the things in that way, but things went wrong. For the last four, I have health challenges. So okay, so far so good. So I'm not, I can't blame the fate with my all the challenges. And the good news is that I survived. I'm very happy with my life. Although I don't have two wheeler, I don't have four wheeler. Although I have financial challenges, but still, I am moving forward, because everything happens for a reason. So I am very positive, and my blood group is B positive, and I am positive by nature.
That's a very positive take, sir. And now you've spoken about your experience in the military, sir. You told me that you completed a lot of degrees, sir. So can you tell me the names of the degrees that you have finished, and in what years did you finish them? Because for someone from your background, you have so many qualifications. So can you tell me what all years you did and what degrees you have?
Great question. Great question. Uh, I was a college dropout, as I told you.
Correct,
When I was 18, I joined Indian Air Force,
correct.
and I started sending money to support my parents. Let us keep these aspects aside. Even in the Indian Air Force, when I joined on February 4th, 1982. People wake up early, and night 10 o'clock they sleep. Around 20 to 30 people will be sleeping in the hall. That's the situation. Then what happens? Again, night 10 to 10 o'clock, 10 to 11 o'clock, I will go to street lamp nearby where light was there. I used to read in the Indian Air Force, that nobody knows
Wow.
actually. Night 1 hour I used to read, because you can understand how much passion I have for just learning. So because of the passion only, I have come up to this level.
Right.
Now coming to the degrees, I think seven qualifications I am having. So let me recollect it. I got a DME in aeronautical from the Indian Air Force.
Okay, what is
Right, that's
DME,
one
sir?
thing. DME. Then BSc means I have done BSc. I think 1994. I think, because 1993. I'm forgetting the numbers. Okay,
That's
I got my degree. Usual degree takes 3 years, but for me it took 4 years, because I discontinued. Then again, I utilized my annual leave and casual leave. Then completed my degree. Okay, BSc is over. Then I went for MA, Ajmer University, masters in sociology. I did it. 1990, I think 1990, I think I got my masters in sociology. Then I went for a PGDBM. This I got it from Indian Air Force, and we it's a 2 years course which we got it from Indian Air Force. So this is one. Then again, I joined for MBA in New Delhi, IGNOU, Indira Gandhi National Open University. So that I did it. So like this, all the qualifications I did it, and then I did also this PGDCLL. I think 1992 I got my PGDCLL. That too, I was posted to Assam. From Assam to, then again, I used to come to one paper was pending. Then I came to Jodhpur, wrote that subject, and got my PGDCLL. So total 6 qualifications I earned through private education. Uh, PGDCLL, I used to go to Jodhpur University evening by cycle. I used to go to, because I don't have two wheeler and four wheeler, as I told you. So I used to go by cycle and to attend the night classes to get my PGDCLL, right? So like this, this is my journey, academic journey. Apart from that, when right from my childhood, I have passion for learning, as I said. So what I was doing, I didn't get material because material was not available because I was posted in different places, different zones. We never stick to one particular time because sometimes 3 o'clock I'll wake up and have to do the work. So like that, it was very challenging. But still, whenever I found time, I would take an opportunity, squeeze in my time, then started going for qualifications. Even in Jodhpur also, I used to go to library by going by cycle, and I used to acquire qualification. I used to prepare notes. So this is how I earned my degrees. People might think that I got my degrees from what is it called, Cambridge or Harvard. But the fact is that I was a college dropout. Everything I have earned through limited money because I was not an officer in the Indian Air Force. I served in the lowest rank of a corporal in the Indian Air Force, and around 12 years I served. Then I entered into business. Then my father-in-law invited me to join for business, but unfortunately, my father and brother-in-law they backstabbed. That was one more problem. So I wanted to do business, but things didn't work out. Then I became a faculty member in a private college to teach management subjects in the year 2007. Then again, 2007 December was a turning point in my life. I applied for a PhD. I shortlisted a couple of guides. Finally, I have taken one guide. And for that, I have to submit MBA qualification. Then again, second thing, what I needed to have, 10,000 rupees was required at that time. So these two I have. The third challenge with me was that I needed to have some paper publications to join for PhD. And what I did was that I used to write some articles when like a competitive magazines. So I kept those copies with me. Then finally I approached my guide to join for PhD in the year 2007 December. Then 10,000 I paid for admission. 10,000 was a big money for me. But still, I managed, and because one month salary I was getting around 10,000. That 10,000 I invested for my PhD. That was then again in the January 2008 things were changed. Fee was hiked. That was one thing. Rules were changed. It was very challenging. Luckily, I entered in the month of December 2007 to join for PhD. If I had delayed by a few days, then I wouldn't have got the opportunity to go for PhD. So all that happens for good. So don't delay the things. When you want to do something, keep doing. Don't delay. If you waste, you may not get the opportunities.
Wow. And so you did your PhD in soft skills. So can you tell me what did you learn about soft skills and leadership during your PhD? And why did you decide to write so many books about these topics? So, what are the main things you write about, sir? And what did you learn during your PhD program?
Okay, in the 2007, I joined for PhD, not completed because I was doing research.
Yeah.
And 2011, I submitted my thesis.
Yeah.
Then I got my PhD.
And that was in India or that was abroad, sir?
No, not in India only. India only. I got it from SRTMU, Swami Marathwada University is there in Nanded. There I completed my PhD. In the year 2011, I submitted. I think 2022, I think I got, physically I got convocation for PhD.
Wow.
So that is the thing. The second thing you are asking about soft skills, this one?
Yes. What did you learn about soft skills, sir?
Yeah.
Can you tell us what?
We'll go one by one because if you tell me 3 questions, usually I can take 3 questions, but due to in view of my health challenges, I'll respond to one question then answer, so that's easy. Then again I'll move to the next level. Now coming to the PhD and the soft skills, and in the year 2007, I was teaching for my students in a college, and I discovered my passion for education at that time, not exactly education, for teaching. So then I started teaching. Then I applied for my PhD. And in PhD, what I did was I took a subject that is known as soft skills. Because when everybody does something, I do something opposite. That's my nature. So then I went for new, because all, if you look at my all six qualifications, there is no consistency in my educational activities. DME is aeronautical, BSc Science, MA Arts, PGDCL Labor Laws, PGDBM Management, then again marketing in MBA. So again I came to some different area that is known as soft skills. So there is no consistency in my academic profile. The thing is that whatever the opportunities I got, I availed them, because I don't have any guide, I don't have any mentor, I don't have any coach, I don't have any father to support, I don't have any godfather to support. Everything I had to do of my own. Another thing was that I acquired my knowledge only by trial and error method. Most of the times I failed. Then I take feedback, then I kept moving. So this is what happened to my academic profile. Then again, I started soft skills. Then I started doing research about soft skills. So now coming to the soft skills are all about people skills. It's in a nutshell, soft skills are all about your personality, attitude, and behavior. Right? These are the three aspects. Then, as I was researching, people were loosely talking about soft skills. They don't know anything about soft skills. Then I thought, let me work on a research paper. Then I wrote a research paper by debunking the myths, and that it was published in ASTD International Journal, that published my article, because that is a genuine one and a very reputed one. Because people loosely talking, everybody says the one who teaches in English, everyone claims that he's a soft skills trainer, but it's not in that way, because I'm very much focused in particular area, that is soft skills, because I was doing PhD in soft skills. So I published research papers on soft skills very long back. So this is briefly about soft skills, and we need to blend the soft skills and hard skills to achieve success. And again, there are three levels of management. At the lower level, you have to focus more on technical aspects. When you go to middle level management, you have to focus between 50% on hard skills and 50% on soft skills. When you go to the C-suite level, that means if you want to reach the top level management, you need more of soft skills and less of technical skills. Because if you look at many CEOs, they started with the technical background, but again, when they grow as leaders, they need to they should they have to do they have to troubleshoot everything. Then they are into strategic management. So more of soft skills are required, less of technical soft skills, less of hard skills. So this is briefly about soft skills, and you need to blend the soft skills with hard skills so that you'll be able to achieve success. This is briefly about soft leadership.
Perfect. That's wonderful, sir. Now, since 2011, sir, you've published 54 books and you wrote 300 papers. So, can you tell me some things that you wrote about in these books? So, can you tell me like some of the main books you published, sir? And what is the main idea you presented in these books?
Okay. The challenge with me is, again, I don't have any guide, I don't have any coach, I don't have mentor, I don't have godfather, I don't have father to support. Everything I was doing of my own. 2010, 2007 I entered into teaching field. Then I started doing research for soft skills. Then 2010 I made my debut as an author. Then first offer I got to publish an article, to publish my first book, Secrets for Success. That was the first book. And that too, it was rejected more than 100 times, because I was new guy. Nobody will entertain new guy. It's very difficult. Everywhere the same situation only. Then I persist a lot. I'm very consistent and persistent by nature. So then what I did was that I sent a request to the publishers to publish my book. Then one guy has approved. Then it became successful. Then people started coming to me. Then they told, you write books on different areas like that. Then I started publishing books, and since you know that I'm workaholic. In that sense, I work very very hard. Then I start whatever was available without blaming others. I was utilizing my opportunities and kept moving. Precisely, I created a door and knocked the door and availed the opportunities and led from the front. That's what I did. And again, I entered into different areas. My qualifications, 7 qualifications are into 7 areas. There's no consistency. I have told you, right? Now the same problem with my books also. Whatever was coming to my mind, I was writing books. That was one more problem. I started with on personal development, then second teaching, third training. Then I entered into mindfulness. Then I became an executive coach. Now I'm writing a memoir. So like that, different areas I entered, and whatever was available, and I was doing it. Beggars are not choosers. I should not use that word. Beggars are not choosers. So whatever comes, we have to accept. So I was accepting everything, whatever the things were available, I was utilizing, and I started doing the things. So it's a bad tradesman who blames his tools. A good tradesman will utilize the existing tools, still he will impact.
Yeah. And that I think is a very different way to look at service, and I think it comes from your military background that you always want to give and contribute. And I feel like that is not easy to do because you were never given the additional support from family or other sources that most people would have got. So you had to first support your parents through your army job. Then you have to find a way to make a living. Even that is very difficult after army life to come back and start your life in civilian setup. I think that is also very challenging. But you not only got your education, you decided to become a faculty member and get your PhD, and then continued publishing and writing. And the first time I heard about your book, sir, was because there was a publisher called Shaw Publishers, and I had published my first book with them. And that time they showed me a copy of your books. Yes, they said that you should see this person's book and you should try and do something like this. And I know, Mr. Jimmy Shroff, right? Yes. I have the same story like you suggest to mention. That time I was walking around Bombay, going to all the publication houses. I was giving my manuscript. Luckily, I walked into his shop that day and he was there and he said that, okay, come send me the manuscript. Then I went and met him and he was showing me your books. So, in a way, your so in a small way, your writing was a little light for me at that point early on in my career. So your impact in so many ways has touched people's lives. So thank you for that. And today, through God or some connection, we are doing this episode, 10. So, it's, you don't know how many people you have impacted, sir, but I think your words, because even your blogs, sir, for 10, 15 years, you have been writing free of cost. You have so many lectures on YouTube. So already you have given back so much to society and to young people like us that want to learn about the world. So thank you for doing your part for that. And I feel like even without doing anything now, you have already done a lot for, humanity and for all of us. So that is just something I wanted to say, sir.
He
But
made my day very special, and I'm very happy that Shroff has published, I think, more than 10 books.
yes, yes, and I,
10 books, I think, more than 10 books, I think Shroff has published.
wonderful.
Shroff publishers, they
Yeah,
published books. I think more than 10 books.
yes, and I will be linking all of your books in the show notes, sir.
And one more thing, sorry for the interruption.
No, no.
You rightly said one thing. When I write book, people don't know me,
Yeah,
but they get inspired automatically, right?
correct.
Even
Yes.
while teaching, 60 students are there.
Yeah.
My job is to inspire students.
Yep.
Some students will listen, some students may not listen,
Yeah.
right? But our job is to impact students.
Correct.
And when I teach in the classroom or somewhere, so out of that, so at least some people will have some gratitude. And if you look at, as I told you, more than 50 students, I physically went to various colleges, and I have impacted more than 50,000 students. So I can't remember all 50,000 students, but they are spread across the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I go on the road, I'll suddenly say, sir, you are my professor, sir. I can't remember. I'm very sorry because so many people.
Yeah.
So,
And that's why I'm telling you this, so that I'm one of those students acted early on. So, you know, we, yeah, that's true. And I think from a spiritual perspective, so I have also slowly realized that at the end of the day, all our work is to make people's lives better. All our work is to help other people. Some people do it through being a doctor, some people do it through being a parent, and some people can do it through being a teacher. And at the end of the day, we only have small amount of time on this planet. We will do our
mature, you're more than your age. Correct.
yeah, and
See, our time is very limited in this planet.
yeah,
Maybe 60, 70, we can't exactly tell how many years we live. After the brain stroke, 2021, I realized how fragile the life is. Earlier, I was taking everything for granted. I'm telling you honestly, in the public places, I was taking everything for granted because I go to gym regularly and I pack students, so I was very happy. But when I had a brain stroke and my right portion of the body was paralyzed, then I realized how fragile the life is.
yeah.
And everything happens for a reason. Maybe my students' blessings or prayers helped me to bounce back. Sometimes I feel that some of my students have prayed for me. Because of their prayers, I think I'm alive and kicking. So I'm very positive guy.
That's so true, sir. And like in your book, like you said, see the light in you. If you can show us a copy of that book, sir.
Yeah, I'll show you. The uniqueness of this book is that His Holiness Dalai Lama has written a foreword.
Wow. Wow. Can you read the forward for us, sir? What he wrote?
Uh, what is that? Huh?
Can you read the forward that
Forward.
yeah, can you
Forward.
read for us, sir?
Forward. Huh?
Yes.
Just 1 minute. Oh, His Holiness Dalai Lama.
Correct. Yes.
Just forward. Dalai Lama. Forward. Just.
Wonderful. Can you read it for us, sir?
I'll read. I'm just showing. No?
Oh, perfect. So this is written by His Holiness the Dalai
Dalai
Lama.
Lama. Yes.
One of the
Now
spiritual
I'll
leaders.
go slowly. Huh? I'm stammering.
No worries. Take your time, sir.
While we see many positive things around the world, it is a fact that there are also problems that we as humans face in life. Many of them are man-made and could be resolved or reduced by dealing with them positively. All major religious traditions that adhere to a philosophy uh, provide explanations and ways to overcome. So, uh, at at a at a at a personal level, when faced with such events, I find the ancient Indian tradition of mind training very effective. However, I am sure that there are many others who may not feel any inclination towards such a tradition. Nevertheless, the fact still remains that for their numerous problems, people still need to need some form of solution that would suit their mental dispositions. So, Professor M.S. Rao's book, See the Light in You, contains a practical advice that would be useful for individuals in leading their lives uh, sensibly. It's my belief and conviction that if we live our lives with respect for others, well-being, and put more emphasis on the peace of mind than on material values, will become happier. I'm sure readers of this book will find it interesting and helpful in leading a happy and meaningful life. With a signature by His Holiness Dama. When he wrote actually 26 May 2017. Can you see it?
Yes, yes,
Signature is there.
it is there. Yes, yes.
It's visible here.
Not very clear, but we can see it, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Shall I?
Wonderful. Yes, that's good, sir. So, what I will do for the listeners tuning in, I will put a link to this book in the show notes. And if you want to purchase this book, you can purchase it. Again, Professor M.S. Rao has written 54 books, so it's very hard to condense it in one hour lecture. So, so please follow his blog and follow him on Amazon. And you can listen to his other lectures and other articles to learn more about his expansive experience. And don't just listen to this podcast, listen to all the other podcasts that he has done to share his experience. So, Professor, I want to ask you this question. Like in 2000, during 2021, when you got the stroke, that is such a scary moment for anybody. So what were you feeling mentally and physically? How did your family support you? And how did you overcome this challenge? Because this is the most difficult challenge life can give you. More a health challenge like this is so hard. So, how did you overcome this challenge and how are you doing it even today while remaining positive?
Okay, good, good. So actually, my right hand, right shoulder is numb. I can't eat with my right hand. I can't type with the right hand. So that's why I'll hide my hand like this, so that nobody will know my problem.
No, don't have to hide it, sir. I feel like it is your strength. It is in
Usually, I
the
hide. I don't tell my challenge. I don't know why I'm very much connected with you.
no, because I feel like we think that people are weak, but I think in the weakness, that is where the strength comes through. I feel like when you are able to contribute even when you are weak, that is when you are really strong mentally, spiritually.
Prison. See, when you have challenges, the best within you will come out.
Correct.
This is the outcome of anything.
Yeah.
Some people run away. This is a challenge, but very few people, they're very resilient. They bounce back. Okay, now we'll talk about one particular topic, brain stroke.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a brain 2019 December. COVID was declared as a pandemic globally, and we in India also didn't take that seriously. It is just like any other virus, we thought. But gradually, it became a very big challenge, and we felt that it's very problematic. And people started very mass, and they went remote. They were not going to offices. Things have totally changed. So during that first lockdown, what I did was that I convert a threat into an opportunity. That's my nature. Okay. Then again, then I started writing a book about COVID-19, Human Search for Meaning. This is the title of this book. Within 2 months, I have worked very hard and published the book that I have dedicated to the present Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi ji. Okay. So I did that, and first lockdown went on well. Then again, what happened? Second lockdown was clamped in India, some places, and I think May 10th. Today, this is sometimes I am I have problem with my numbers.
It's okay.
I think 11. I think this month only I am completing the fourth year. Okay. Then my wife and I had COVID-19, and we were recovering, and even I was recovering. I took bath usually daily twice. I take bath. During COVID time, just my wife was in a different room, and I was in a different room. Then we were somewhere in the evening. Suddenly, I collapsed. My wife was shocked. What happened to him? Then again, immediately neighbors came. Then my elder son was also well. He came. Then we went. We were shifted to different. We were shifted to ambulance. Okay, that was a challenge. Then at that time, cylinders were not available. Lack of cylinders. That is a very big challenge, and lack of beds in hospitals. There are too many challenges, and I was moved to. I was shifted to two ambulances. Very difficult situation because hospitals were full of rush heaviness, lack of goods, uh, uh, lack of opportunities. Uh, then again, my son and my wife then put me into ICU. That was the story. Then again, I didn't know what was happening, but how I survived. I have a clean, healthy habits. I'm very positive, and whenever I have a challenge, what I do is that I program my subconscious mind. This is a technique I share with everyone. So when I collapsed, so I was not able to speak, but within I was telling to myself that everything is all right, everything is all right. Like that, I was telling. That means I am giving commands to my subconscious mind that everything will be all right. I was that nobody knows, only I know it.
Yeah.
That's the power of subconscious mind. Then I for almost 2 weeks, then I was in the ICU, and the people were blackmailing in India at that time. They were trying to squeeze money. We didn't have money. Luckily, my younger son is in the US, so he transferred money immediately. That's one thing. Lack of cylinders, lack of beds. Two ambulances I was shifted, and my son luckily transferred some money, and we managed. And again, the hospital also, this some doctors, what they were telling, you'll be on the bed forever. They were telling doctors, they should not say like that, but they were telling throughout the life you will be on the bed. We can't help like that. He was telling. Then I proved them wrong
Yeah.
because I bounced back. I bounced back. The power is there within me. Then I bounced back. So you won't survive. One doctor said that I won't survive, and another doctor was telling that you will be lying on the bed forever. So doctors are not supposed to tell, but they were telling. I was hearing everything, but I was not able to communicate. So these are the challenges. Then I came to my wife and my son brought me to home. Then I did physiotherapy exercises. At that time, there is huge demand for physiotherapists. Yes, for every half an hour, they were charging heavily at that time. So it was a total exploitation. I am telling bluntly. I am telling one word. It was total exploitation. People, they have misused everything. So it's not good in the long run. This kind of activities. So then again, I came to home. Then I started walking, and so for 1 year, I didn't go to gym. I started walking. I was dragging with my right leg. So, so this is what I did it. Then after a year, then I started going to gym. So that if I go to gym, I connect with some people, so that I get some vibrations. So I started speaking slowly with the people because I was a very good speaker. But I still have stammering because there's a blood clot.
Yeah.
Now I am having a blood clot. I asked the doctor. He said this clot it can't be dissolved. So it's okay. What happens? We can't do anything. So somehow I'm positive that I'll be all right.
Yeah. And like I think, listening to your stories, sir, one thing I've realized is that so much of your work, it's like you were writing for a younger version of yourself. Like all the books you have written, it seems like you are writing for Professor M.S. Rao when he was 20 years old. And you are the one that is implementing it the most in your own life. Because all the skills that you have written about, being a leader first. I think a leader is someone that in difficult times they don't move away. In difficult times they show how to continue. And a leader is someone that shows that even if everything is against you, you will try your best to make things better.
You rightly said, you are mature. You are very well mature. You are beyond your age. Really, I'm telling you, I appreciate your positive attitude, your ability to paraphrase the things.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I speak something, that can't be understood by others because of my stammering brainstorm.
No,
And
no.
like you are helping me to paraphrase and putting the things in a right perspective. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, and I've also learned some of these skills from you, sir. Some of your so I'm going back and I feel like at the end of the day, we are all connected in some way at a deeper level. So, and that's so I was saying we are all connected in some way at a deeper levels. I think we're trying to help each other live our lives better. And I feel like that is what we need to leave behind for future generations. I think your life, the way you have led your life, sir, that is your strongest message. The fact that even though you were grown up in very difficult circumstances, you decided to join the military, you decided to pursue so many degrees, published 54 books. Not everyone can do what you did with the resources you were given, sir. So it's very commendable what you have done through your lifetime and what you are still doing even today. So I really thank you for that, sir. You know, Yes, and like what I wanted to ask you, so maybe not many people have asked you this. What have you learned as a father and a husband? Yes, like what have you learned as a father? Correct, yeah. What have you learned from being a father?
Good, excellent question. Huh? My good. Just a moment. Yeah, same thing. The same, what you are telling in already is there. I have written.
Oh,
Philanthropist.
because
Just a moment.
I'm just
Huh?
thinking, like being a father and being a parent is one of the hardest jobs in the world, because
Yeah, correct. It's very, very big challenge. Correct.
so what did you learn from being a father?
Yeah. Yeah. Here it comes in a father's message to his son. I have mentioned.
Sure,
I
sure.
don't know
Take
where it
your
is.
time so you can read it for us.
Look, it's very good. Luckily, this is also. Are you able to see or not?
Message to my son. Yes. Yes. Why
How?
don't you can read some of that for us.
Yeah. What I yeah. Yeah. This is a message to my son. Huh? Yeah. I'll put basic thing. Message to my son. Okay.
Sure.
Surround with good books to improve your knowledge and with positive friends to grow as a healthy citizen. I think this question was not you have not asked, but I don't know why.
No
Good.
worries, sir. You can say
It's
whatever
nice.
you want. Yeah.
Add value to society. There is no free lunch in this world. Are you repeating? Understanding the question?
Yes, yes.
There is no free lunch in this world. This is for my son. I am giving message. Already I mentioned. And like His Holiness Dalai Lama has read this book. He appreciated. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, because uh, His Holiness Dalai Lama, he told me first to send me the manuscript because they don't approve. They won't agree to write a foreword unless we give the manuscript, especially for top people. And he's a Nobel laureate.
Yeah.
So usual people, what they do, they just some few words they say it and put it. But in my case, he told me to send the entire manuscript. I sent it after 1 month back. He liked it. Then he gave me a foreword. Okay.
Wow.
So that's one thing. Now coming to the son, there is no free lunch in this world. Remember, everything comes at a price. This is my son. My message to son and my son only. It's for students for the entire world. Okay. Uh, Success comes from struggles and sacrifices. You must work hard to prove yourself in this cutthroat competitive world. You must identify yourself. You must identify your passions and pursue them relentlessly. Right? Focus your passionate area and strive hard for a minimum of 10 years to establish yourself. Don't be overjoyed. Don't be overjoyed by short-term success. Don't get complacent. Remember, who wins at the end of the life life course counts, not who wins the middle of the journey. Don't flight, but fight to the finish. It's coming from my all military mind. don't don't flight, but fight to the finish. Be resilient. Don't become a servant to technology. Ensure that technology becomes your servant. So like this, so many things. Travel as often as you can. Traveling teaches tolerance because you come across diversified communities and cultures when you travel. When I served in the Indian Air Force, I volunteered to travel, and I traveled entire India in various helicopters, including Mi-17. That is a Russian helicopter. I worked. Okay. Uh, I learned a lot, and I share my experiences with others during my leadership development training programs. Remember, to travel is to lead. One is respect women, empower them, handhold them to enable them to lead from the front, build bridges, not barriers. Don't react, but act. Connect with like-minded people, build trust in others. Remember that trust is earned, not given. Serve others, be a giver, add value to others, respect all cultures and communities. Love your mother, but don't hate another person's mother. Love your nation, but don't hate another person's uh, nation. Okay, I think this is enough. I think so.
Yeah,
It's
very
very. You're reminding me. I wrote this 5 years back or somewhere. I wrote.
no.
I forgot everything. Now it's a mental exercise for me. I'm acting. Although I wrote it,
Yeah.
I kept them aside.
No, that's such a nice message, sir, and I'm
No,
sure
no.
you.
And your question now, you asked spontaneous. How you are not our conversation is not a structured one. People usually go for even I go for a open-ended conversation. That because I taught I taught in business communications for EMBA students.
Got it.
So I am very good, smart in the communication skills also. That is a different thing. But I am very happy that your ideas are resonating with my ideas.
That's so nice.
Only the gap is that you are young and I am 60 plus.
I'm 31. So and like one more thing I wanted to ask you, sir, is it's very often, as you said, to empower the women in our lives. We don't see the hard work and effort of our mothers or people that have put in so many years. Like, so I just wanted to learn from you. What are some leadership lessons you have learned from your wife and your mother?
I think most of the points are already covered. So basically, you should craft your vision, execute things ruthlessly, be passionate about what you are doing. Don't follow somebody's passions.
Yep.
When you want to succeed, follow your own passions, follow your heart.
Yeah.
If you look at Steve Jobs, he followed his passion.
Yep.
He was in Hare Rama, Hare Krishna in India, and he was like a beggar, and he was taking food, everything. That was the kind of life he led. Then again, he went to USA. Then again, started um, uh, uh, Apple. Then again, he was fired. then again, the management requested him to come join what it Apple. So like that, it happened. So
Got it.
the lessons are same only. Only thing, you have to be authentic. You must be ambitious. Don't be over ambitious. Nowadays, young people, they are over ambitious. When you go for over ambition, what happens? You are likely to cut the corners, and you will land in problems. So be ambitious, but don't be over ambitious, and lead from the front, and be a role model for others. And especially for young people, I would like to give a message. These young people, I mean, millennials, that Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. I'll put it that way. X, Y, Z. Gen Z means now we entered Gen Z. You are not a Gen Z. Are you a Gen Z? I think
I'm a millennial.
millennial. Huh?
Millennial.
A million, some. Okay, okay. So especially these people are okay. The Gen Z more ambitious. They are tech savvy. They are tech savvy. They use a lot of brain, but they have health challenges. Globally, this is the problem. We find lots of strokes, heart attacks, that so many, irrespective of health, people are having health challenges. So especially, I advise Gen Z. Gen Z is also known as centennials. I give a message for them. Use technology for social good. Don't misuse. This is the message I would like to share with others. And lead from the front, learn lessons, and move on. If you fail, there is nothing wrong. Especially in India, there is a stigma. Failure is a stigma in India. When somebody success, everybody will come. When someone fails, others will distance and go away. This is the attitude of the people. Actually, they should learn that we learn from failures, and again we grow as healthy citizens. So we have to have that kind of perspective. And let me take I had challenges. 2007, I became an educator, assistant professor in a college. Then again, my wife and I lived in the single bedroom rented flat for more than 10 years. We didn't have cot also. Sometimes these colleges were not paying salaries. That was the one more problem. So lots of challenges were there. So what can't be cured must be endured. So what you won't get things on a platter, right? You have to work very, very hard. That's what that's what I would like to share with, of course, millennials. And more than the millennials, we have to focus more on Gen Z, who are also with different names. We call them as centennials. And I'm sharing they are very smart, undoubtedly, because of the technology. Some of the people mechanically they do it and move forward. They are not using much of brain. This is a situation.
Yeah,
Now, I'm
that's
not blaming anybody. This is the challenge.
yeah, it's a good point, sir. As you said, I don't think technology should be used to dominate, to
Yeah,
use
correct.
it in power,
Uh,
as you mentioned.
Harness technology for social good. Simplest statement.
Wow.
Harness technology for global good. This is the
Perfect.
message I would like to share.
Perfect. So, because we have limitations of time, sir, I just wanted to ask you if someone wants to learn about Professor M.S. Rao's work, about your work, sir, how can they learn about your work on the internet? Like what, how, so after this podcast, sir, if they want to read your books or they want to access your videos or your blog, how can they learn about your work on the internet?
Like, I'm available on Amazon.
Okay.
All my books are there on Amazon,
Yep.
and I go with the professional network, that is LinkedIn. Okay, these two. Apart from that, I have 4 blogs, and I forgot to tell you, I published 300. I published 54 books. Then I published 300 research papers.
Yes.
Let me repeat.
Yes.
300 research papers, and I published more than 1,000 articles.
Wonderful.
Articles, I am telling. Okay. Then again, I was a regular contributor for Entrepreneur magazine, very famous in the world. Then I still serve on the editorial boards of JVPL and DLO. One is from UK and is from USA. And I got offers to join the editorial boards, but I said I can't because of the health. In view of the health challenges, I slowed down. So I am available on social media. All that you have to do is Professor M.S. Rao. You Google it and follow. You will get that's one. And also you can alternatively check for a book. This is soft leadership. Okay. If you Google soft leadership, you will find my books and also the some models I have created. So lots of things I have done.
Perfect, sir.
So
That's
this is how people can reach me out. As
wonderful.
you say that you saw my book in Bombay.
Yeah,
So we are impacting the world. I'm very happy that.
that's so nice. So on that note, we come to an end of this episode with Professor M.S. Rao. I will be linking Professor M.S. Rao's blog, his other podcasts, and his new book, See the Light in You. He's also working on a memoir and he has already released a lot of podcasts on the work that he is doing. So please follow this conversation up with that. And until next time, from Abhishek Shetty, learning. Any last words, sir, that you'd like to say, Professor, to your readers and your students?
I think I have shared most of the things. So be authentic and never give up. Keep moving in the right direction. And there is no free lunch in this world. You have to slug. You have to work very very hard to get your bread. This is a reality. And life is full of ups and downs, peaks and valleys. Never give up. Embrace failures. Keep moving forward. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much.